Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a Spring Sephora Sale guide video. Now, instead of just grabbing every product that I love, instead I really want to focus on what are products that I absolutely love that I'm not seeing mentioned much on other videos, or I feel like are often just left out of the recommendations. These are products that I think should be viral, but I haven't seen go viral yet. If I'm mistaken, always feel free to let me know in the comments below. And these are also products that are ones that maybe were really popular 2 years ago, but now have kind of fallen off on the radar. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. We're going to go through all my recommendations. And then if you're interested, I will do another video talking about what I'm going to be purchasing. Let me know in the comments below if that is something you would be interested in watching. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with complexion and kind of work backwards, or rather work forwards in the order that I apply the makeup. Starting out with foundations. I should also preface my skin type. I am very dry skinned girl, and I'm also very fair skinned. So a lot of foundations do not work for me because either the undertone isn't right or the product is just far too dry. So with that in mind, these are some foundations that I highly recommend that I think may not be on your radar. The first one is the Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation Stick. This is one of only a few foundation sticks that actually works for my dry skin. The Hourglass one, it cakes up so badly on me. I absolutely cannot use it. But this one is great. It is pricey, so I do recommend, if you're interested, purchasing it during the Sephora sale, because Westman Atelier on their own site doesn't independently do sales very often, if ever. But this is just a really great stick foundation. It's hydrating. It's wonderful for travel, or if you're going to have a long day where you're going to be out and about, being able to just stick this in your bag is amazing. You can always reapply with your fingers. But yeah, nothing really much more to say about this other than it's a great hydrating stick foundation. Another complexion product that I have been loving, that I feel like a few channels mentioned it when it first came out and it was in a few favorites video, but I haven't really seen it since, but it is the iconic London Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. Now, this does just that. It is really, really smoothing. I wore it the other day to just refresh myself on how it wears, and even though it is more of a matte finish, it did not dry me out. I love that it has the little dropper so you can be pretty precise with the application. And if I recall correctly, for a skin tint, it doesn't have the worst shade range, definitely not the best, but it's not just 3 colors like some other skin tints are. Another complexion product that is probably actually in a lot of other videos, but one that I just am obsessed with. It is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. I love, love, love this product. If you are only going to get one complexion product out of these recommendations, this is my #1 recommendation, because not only does it have SPF, but it is not drying, and it is very, very full coverage for being a tinted sunscreen. I would say this is a foundation, not a tinted sunscreen. I also really love the applicator. You can be really controlled with how much product you're dispensing. And the packaging is cute too. Oh, and the undertones are great as well. I'm a true neutral undertone, and I wear shade 10 Larchmont. Next complexion product is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. Now, I believe they also have a glowy version that came out afterwards, but I bought this when it first came out a few years ago. I haven't worn it in a while because it's far too dark for my current complexion, but I am excited to whip this out this summer. It is a self-refreshing foundation. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it wears beautifully throughout the day. It doesn't cake up. All around, great, great product. My last foundation is the Lancôme Tint Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow foundation. Now, it is the foundation I'm wearing currently. The shade is a little bit off for me. It's a little too pinky. But I'm able to just like bronze it up and make it work. But I really like this foundation. It's glowy. It is, I would argue that it's like medium coverage, which is kind of as high coverage as I like to go. Because of my dry skin, I try to keep it medium being the max, but it's buildable, it's beautiful. I think today I may be wearing like 3 pumps of the foundation, and it wears really nicely. And this is one that I don't feel like enough people talk about. For concealers, one of these concealers I picked up during the winter or the holiday Sephora savings event, and I love it. It's a little too light for me, so I'm tempted to get another shade, but I can also make this one work. And it is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Conceal. I believe Huda has a couple different concealer formulas, but this again is the Faux Filter Concealer. And this, not only is the shade range amazing, but I love the applicator and it wears really, really beautifully. I struggle with so many concealers because I have I have very wrinkly under eyes, and this one is pretty good as far as not creasing. There's never going to be a crease-proof concealer, but this one is really great. Another concealer that I love that I picked up, I'm going to say maybe like last year because Michelle Wong here on YouTube raved about it, and I have not looked back since. It is another Lancôme product, and it is the Lancôme Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I picked up my like under eye concealer shade, and then I also picked up a darker shade for spot concealing. But I love how huge the applicator is. It also has a little bit of a divot, so like the product really catches in, and you can be precise and apply it with just the tip of the applicator or like really get in there. So this is another great concealer if you're in the market for one. Okay, next up we have a powder. I don't use a ton of powders because I am so dry, but for my under eyes, I do always need something underneath just to help with the creasing. And my all-time favorite Holy Grail powder, and I have the travel size with me right now, is the Kosas Cloud Set Setting Powder. Not only is the packaging adorable, it's a baked, I believe it's a baked formula, and it just wears beautifully. It doesn't cake up. It doesn't make you too matte. It still shows your skin through it. But this one, if you do not have this already, highly recommend picking this up. And I know I'm talking really fast, but I'm on a time crunch. I have to leave soon to go to dinner, so sorry for the speed talking. For contour, I have 2 contours that I want to recommend today. The first being an oldie but a goodie, and it is the Fenty Cream Bronzer in the shade Amber. So the shade Amber is a contour shade. It is a contour shade because you can tell it has that gray undertone that really creates a shadow. I am wearing it today. I absolutely love this product. People may be mentioning it still, but I haven't seen it mentioned on YouTube in quite a while. But this one is chef's kiss. Love it if you're fair-skinned or light-skinned as a contour. Another contour that I love, despite the fact that it is so overpriced for the amount of product and it infuriates me, the shrinkflation of it all, but it is the Milk Makeup Contour Sculpting Stick. I really, really love this. Again, I covered this in the video where I talked about this, but it is really ridiculous. This is what their bronze and contour products used to be sized, and now they're this size. And they are the same price. And in their marketing, they were basically doing us a favor by shrinking the product so that you could use it before it expired, which is such BS. They are just trying to make more money, which, you know, we're all trying to get our dollar, but I don't like the marketing excuses. But anyways, despite how enraging it is, that it is shrunken down and the size of an American Girl doll contour, I do love this contour. It is super creamy, super blendable. The shade Toasted is perfect for my pale girlies out there. It creates that shadow effect. And I will say one of the advantages of the contour one being smaller is that you can be more precise with your application. But I just wish it was priced differently. Let's do my favorite category of all time, which is always blush. I love blush. Blush is my favorite makeup category by far. I have so many blushes that I'm obsessed with, but I tried to narrow it down to ones that I think are underrated or maybe people don't talk about that much. Like, I could go on and on about the Say blushes because they're amazing, but you're all aware of the Say blushes. The first blush is from Iconic London. It is their sheer blush. I don't know which shade this one is. I don't know why I can't see the shade name on it, but I have a few shades of these and I love them. They're a very watery blush. You can, I don't know if you saw that, but I didn't even have to squeeze the tube for it to come out. They're a very watery blush, super, super blendable, and they provide just the most beautiful sheer wash of color. The next blush that I love, I have 3 of them in front of me. I feel like maybe I have another, but it is the Huda Beauty Cheeky Tints. I think these maybe came out around the holidays or maybe like last year, but I don't see enough people talking about these. These are great. These are a super blendable cream blush. This is the shade Rebel Red, which I am wearing today, along with another blush I'll talk about. And they have maybe 4 or 5 shades, but they're also super convenient for throwing in your bag if you're on the go. Really, really like this formula. I don't know why more people aren't talking about these. We have another blush from Huda. This is from the Glowish by Huda Beauty, which is like their sub-brand. And this is the Cheeky Vegan Blush Powder. I have several shades, but this is the shade Healthy Peach. And it is just that. It gives you a really pretty, healthy glow on the face. These are beautiful. These are great. And I just love the little packaging. I think they're so cute. This is the product that came out maybe 2 years ago. And I feel like they were kind of hyped when they first came out and then maybe fell off. But this is one of the most affordable, best brands at Sephora. And it is LYS Beauty. Now, I'm not positive if it's List Beauty or LYS Beauty, but they're a great brand. I should probably do a video dedicated to them because their brushes are amazing. They have a great foundation, etc. But my favorite product of theirs are the cream blushes. This is a shade that I haven't actually used yet, clearly because it's untouched, but I have several others that I use all the time. It is a really, really creamy blush. And these are called the Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blushes. And that's a good way to describe them because they do apply like very creamy at first, but then they dry down to more of a matte finish and they last a really long time because of that. It's not something that's so dewy, you know, by midday like the Merit blushes that I love, but by midday you don't see the product on your face. These ones last for a while, and I want to say these are like $20. So definitely check these out if you're in the market for a cream blush. Another blush that I highly recommend, and one that I, again, haven't seen that much, is the Omicole Desert Date Cream Blush. I featured this in one of my like new makeup from Sephora videos, and I love this. I have the shade Desert Date. I love this brown shade. Now, it does claim that it can be multi-use, not only for the cheeks and lips, but also the eye. In my experience, that was not the case. It looked beautiful when I first applied it to my eyes, but it wore off very quickly. So I don't think that's like a mark against them, but from a blush perspective and lip perspective, this is great if you want to do more of a monochromatic look. And they have maybe 4 shades. I'm hoping they expand to maybe some more like summery colors because most of them right now feel a little like wintry and fall. But I might pick up I think there's like a hibiscus shade that I'm interested in picking up. But these are great, and these are under $30 if I recall correctly. The last blush we are going to be speaking about, which again, it was very hard for me to narrow down the blush category, is my #1 blush recommendation. I love these so much. I don't understand why these aren't viral, and these are the One Size cheek clappers. So they're a similar kind of concept to the Patrick Ta powder and blush duos, but this actually comes with 3 products. You get the cream, you get the matte blush, and then you get a shimmery blush topper. All of these wear absolutely beautifully. I'm wearing the powder one, Blushed Deposit. I'm wearing Blush Deposit over that Huda Beauty one because I wanted to kind of maximize my blushes I was using, and they wear beautifully. I absolutely love these. I have these in several shades, and this is my #1 blush recommendation. Moving on from cheeks, let's talk about highlighter. I only have 2 highlighters that I'm going to be speaking about today because there were only 2 that came to mind, ones that I am obsessed with that, again, I'm not seeing talked about a bunch. The first one is another Ami Collet product. I'm really impressed with this brand, and this is the Ami Collet Light Catching Highlighter. It is just the most dewy, beautiful, flattering, like look at that. Creamy, dreamy highlighter. I don't know if it'll pick up much on camera, but it's very, very dewy. But unlike other super dewy highlighters, it doesn't just disappear after an hour. It stays on the skin. And I also think this is under $30. The other highlighter that I love, and I am going to be picking up 2 more shades during the sale, it is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush Highlighter, and this is the shade Tiara. This is a beautiful champagne gold. She recently came out with some more fun colors, kind of like a lilac-y and a pink one that I'm going to be picking up, but these are amazing. I always keep this in my travel bag because this is such an easy highlighter to travel with, and it blends beautifully with the Beauty Blender. When I travel, I try to really minimize the brushes and the Beauty Blenders I'm bringing, so anything that blends out quickly, I'm always on board for when I travel. And yeah, blends beautifully, super glowy. I also like the applicator because you can be pretty precise if you wanted to do like the corners of your eyes, your Cupid's bow. Definitely check these out. For eyeshadows, I only have one particular formula I'm going to be speaking about. I am an eyeshadow collector. I love so many palettes, but a lot of the ones that I'm obsessed with that are available at Sephora and are no longer limited edition are sold out. So like the Makeup by Mario matte palette is my favorite matte palette of all time. It'll probably be sold out, but it's also one that's mentioned in everyone's video, so didn't want to focus too much on it even though I'm rambling about it now. But the eyeshadow product that I think not enough people have experienced are the Kaja Beauty Bentos. I own almost all of them. I just picked a random one from my drawer. This particular one is Peach Madeleine, but these are some of the most beautiful shimmers you will ever experience. They are a little like quad and these very cute little fold out layers. This particular one has 1 matte and then 2 shimmers. This is more of like the standard shimmer that it comes with. They're so creamy and beautiful. And then the top one is kind of a more foily shadow, a more intense one. And these are amazing for not only travel, but for everyday use because you don't really have to think. You just know, okay, matte goes in the crease and then put the shimmers on top. So love these, highly recommend getting these. Brows, I have 2 brow products that I love and will probably be replacing. One of them is Glossier Boy Brow. Glossier Boy Brow is my favorite brow product of all time, probably for everyday use. My favorite everyday use brow product. Super happy that this is available at Sephora. I haven't checked the exclusions from the Sephora sale. I don't believe Glossier is excluded, but if it happens to be, I'll make a note in the description. But the Glossier Boy Brow is famous for a reason. It's a great product, builds volume in the brows, and I believe there are 5 shades. Another brow product that I love and consistently repurchase that I feel like does not get enough love is the Anastasia. What are these called? It is the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. This particular one is really dried out, but I love it because it provides great pigment and it really builds up. It's a pomade within a tube with a brush applicator. So it's very easy to use. It is more like full coverage than the Boy Brow. Boy Brow is going to be for like very natural everyday brows, but if you need something to actually build up the pigment, this is your product. Racing to the finish line, I only have one eyeliner to chat about. Only ones that I think are like ones that aren't really mentioned that often, but are amazing. They are the Sephora Colorful Crayon Contour Eyeliners, and these are going to be 30% off during the sale. Sephora collection is 30% off for everyone, even if you're not a beauty insider, and they're so creamy. They come in so many different colors. They have matte finishes, they have shimmers. Highly recommend picking these up. They're really good and they perform as good as high-end ones. Lip products, I have a lot of them. I'm going to race through them. Starting off with lip liners, I have two lip liner formulas that I love that I don't think get enough attention. The first being the Lawless lip liners. I particularly love the shade Pink Sand. It's what I'm wearing today. These are very creamy. They're in a traditional like sharpener applicator, which I prefer for a liner, and they're creamy, they're beautiful. You can wear them all over the lip if you want to, or just line them. And these are, yeah, one of my favorite lip liners. Other one is newer, but I love these and I want more shades. It is the One Size Lip Snatcher. These came out last month. I picked up a couple of shades and I really like the shade range. I have become a lip oil addict in the past year, and I've narrowed down to kind of like my top 4 lip oil products at Sephora that are ones that are not commonly spoken about. Let me preface it by saying I do have one of the Dior lip oils and I love it and I think it's beautiful, but I don't think it's worth the price. And that's because there are a few others in here that are more friendly to your wallet and perform just as good, if not better, than Dior. Starting off with Clarins. I love the Clarins lip oil. I picked this one up at Sephora, but I do know they are carried at Ulta. Super nourishing lip oil. One of the most hydrating lip oils out there. And the packaging is really nice. It's very luxe. You have the kind of larger doe foot applicator, similar to the Dior one, and then the metal lid. Easy to throw in your purse, apply without having to look in a mirror. All around great lip oil. Another lip oil I love, and it's pretty budget friendly. And when I'm saying budget and we're talking about Sephora, I'm talking about things that are under $30. So these aren't drugstore prices, but compared to the very high end, they are quote unquote affordable. This is the In Beauty Glaze, and these are the In Beauty lip oils. I love these lip oils. They come in so many different shades. They're super pigmented, very hydrating, very friendly to the wallet, again, for Sephora, and all around a really great lip oil. Highly recommend if you are in the market for a hydrating lip oil and you have not checked out the In Beauty ones, test these out and try them before you splurge for the Dior ones, because these are just as good as the Dior ones, if not better. The Ami Collet lip oil is one of my favorite lip discoveries of the year so far. This is their nourishing lip oil, and it is just that. It's extremely hydrating. It's really thick. It grips onto your lips and it lasts for a really long time. It is definitely the combination of a lip treatment as well as like a lip product you wear out during the day. It comes in around 4 shades. I am going to be picking up a couple more during the sale because I love the formula that much. The last lip oil I'm going to be recommending is the Sephora brand S Clean Glossy Lip Oil. Now, as you can tell, I have these in several shades. These are fantastic. They're a lip oil that comes in more of a traditional lip gloss, kind of padded applicator. They have a bunch of shades and they're going to be 30% off during the sale because the Sephora collection is going to be 30% off. So these afterwards, I want to say come down to be like $6, and they're great. We have 4 more lip products to chat about, and then we can move on from this category. Sephora collection. Sephora collection has these really great glossy lipsticks that remind me a lot of the YSL Volupte Rouge lipsticks, but they are more pigmented. So this particular shade is, of course I can't find the shade name on it, but it is a beautiful red, and it's a very glossy, pigmented, just like a beautiful pigmented lipstick. And I think I'm going to be picking up more during the sale because they are going to be 30% off. But even if these were more expensive, I would say they're totally worth it because the quality is great. They have a great shade range, and after the sale, they're under $10. 3 more lip products to go. The Rare Beauty Glossy Balm. Now, I think these are, I wouldn't say they're better than the Rare Beauty Lip Oil. They're just more accurately described. They are what they sound like. They are a true glossy balm. I'm going to apply the shade Nearly Neutral right now. They're so hydrating. They're very pigmented. They're very comfortable. They're completely non-sticky, and they're a great product if you're looking for a gloss without the stickiness and you don't want to dive into the lip oil category. The Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Gloss. I believe that is the accurate name. Excuse me, the plumping lip color. Now, I love the original plumping lip balm. I have it in so many shades, more shades than I'm willing to admit, and it's a great formula, but it's one that's gone pretty viral and everyone's well aware of. This new launch I know was kind of controversial because the darker shades were really unflattering, and the thing to keep in mind is like when it's going to be a formula like this that's going to move around a lot and it's more of a gloss formula, the darker shades are never going to be that flattering. They're going to move around on your mouth. They're going to emphasize fine lines. So I'm particularly recommending the shade Soft Blush, which for me is a Your Lips But Better. It's very comfortable. It is very plumping. It is very pigmented, but it does not sting. So if you are sensitive to any of those voluminizing lip products that bring on that sting and burn to plump the lips, you will not be bothered by this. The final lip product is a product I've become quite obsessed with since it launched, and it is the Lawless, I don't remember the exact name, but it is the like Lawless Plumping Lip Balm. It is from the same collection of their amazing Lawless Keep the Filler or Forget the Filler lip glosses. And the shade I love is Georgie. It is a really, really pretty pinky nude, but the thing I love about it, it is truly is plumping. What it does is it really helps fill the fine lines, and it is super flattering as someone in my 30s who has lost volume in my lips and has fine lines. I find that this is a great product for kind of masking those and making my lips look healthy and a lot younger. The last category I wanted to touch on is brushes, and that is because the Sephora collection has amazing brushes. I picked up so many of them. There's like a ton in front of me. I'm just grabbing a few. I picked up so many of them during the holiday sale because they were 30% off. And these brushes are so high quality. I highly recommend them. Some of my favorites are brush 19, which is a crease brush. I also love brush 71, which is a pro concealer brush. It is one of the ones that has like a little kind of cat paw shape. I also love the contour brush in 78. I have so many of these Sephora brushes, and you really can't go wrong. Don't let the Sephora collection name throw you off. These are really high quality brushes that are really worth picking up full price. And for 30% off, for me, they're like a no-brainer if you're in the market for new brushes. That brings us to the end of the recommendations. But before I wrap it up, I wanted to give kind of like my advice or 2 cents about the sale. Something I want to emphasize is don't go too crazy. I mean, I'm saying that from someone who goes crazy, but try to focus on brands that normally are not going on sale more than 20% off. Brands that traditionally always have really good sales are YSL. If you're looking for YSL, especially lip products, don't get them during the Sephora sale. They do buy one, get one free and buy one, get one half off multiple times a year. That's a brand I would avoid. Tarte Cosmetics, love Tarte Cosmetics, but Tarte Cosmetics is often a participant in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty where you can get, for example, the Juicy Lip products for 50% off. On their website, they also do 30% off, like pretty often, like I want to say quarterly. That's another brand I would avoid. Instead, I would really focus on brands that don't do a ton of sales on their website, luxury brands, and then those products I mentioned here where I try to avoid brands that I know go on, 30, 40% off pretty often, and instead focus on ones that are going to be 20% off when they go on sale. If you're interested in finding out like what I'm going to order, definitely leave a comment down below and I'll film a video of what I ordered, because by the time this is on YouTube, I will probably have placed my order. And also let me know in the comments below what you're eyeing for the Sephora sale and what your philosophy is when trying to figure out what you're going to buy during the spring savings event versus what you're going to buy during the holiday event. Thanks so much for tuning into my video. I really appreciate it. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.